I've been saying for some time now there's a price war going on in the EV charging world, and so many comments I get are telling me, no, we can't see any difference at all in pricing. It's happening, you're just not looking in the right place. I'm Dave, welcome to Dave Takes It On. Well, big thank you to Stephen Risner for this heads up. It's great when I get notification from my viewers as to what's happening, because I don't always spot them as they happen. What's happened is Tesla have just changed all their prices. It's a really big deal and part of the ongoing war. So let's have a look into it and see what's going on. Well, late last year, about August, Tesla launched their V4 chargers. And these were specifically designed to be suitable for use with all cars, not specifically Tesla. See, Tesla all have their charger ports in the same location, and they all have very short cables, and they have either the Tesla proprietary or the CCS2 plug on the end of it. So we don't need extra long cables as Tesla drivers. Tesla chargers up until the V4 also did not have screens on them. We don't need a screen. Everything's done in the car or on an app, so we don't need a screen. And Tesla superchargers prior to the V4s also did not have any payment method. Ever since we've had Teslas, it's a very simple process. The Tesla car, the Tesla charger and the Tesla computer all talk to each other continuously. So if I go along and just plug my car in, my car introduces itself to the charger, charger introduces itself to the computer. They all know who's charging there, what the car is, and they also have a payment method stored on my account. So I literally just plug in, the car will charge. When it's finished, I'll just unplug it and drive off, and everything's done automatically. Obviously, if you don't have a Tesla, you can't do that. So this was a problem when the regulations forced Tesla to open up some of their superchargers to non-Teslas. And the way they did it was by allowing them, or giving them, a Tesla app. And that Tesla app gave them the one thing that the chargers couldn't, and that was a method of payment. We already have an account with Tesla. We have credit cards, debit cards, everything registered with them. But new owners, when a car plugs in, they've no idea who it is. So when someone with a non-Tesla car downloaded a Tesla app, it asked for a payment method. So you would store your card, your debit card, your credit card. I believe also you can use Apple Pay or Google Pay, and you just store a payment method on the app. So when a non-Tesla comes to one of those V2 or the V3 chargers, they simply plug in, but they then need to open up the app. The app will ask them which charger they're using. They have to identify the charger, and then the app will say, okay, I now know your car. I now know which charger you're using. I've got your stored payment method, so we can just charge. So there's no other, they don't have to swipe contactless or RFID. You literally just plug your car in, you select which charger you're plugged into. They all have the number on the front, and then you start charging. What they did with the V4, because there were more and more people going to be using Tesla superchargers, they brought out the V4. And this one was specifically designed for non-Tesla cars. We didn't need any changes, but non-Tesla cars did. First thing that they needed was that their charger ports were not always in the same place. Tesla's always in the rear left quarter. Others were sometimes in the right quarter. Porsche Taycan has got it halfway up the front. Some on the right hand corner on the front, I think it was. They're all over the place. And so the very short Tesla cables from the V2, V3 just wouldn't reach. So the first thing they did on the V4s was they gave an extra long cable. It's about 4.5 meters long. So literally you can go to any car, and whether you pull in forwards or backwards, the cable would reach. So that's the first big change. The second big change, it was a requirement that you didn't have to use an app. This was a legal requirement. You had to have a contactless method of payment that wasn't exclusive to your chargers. So Tesla have also put on a contactless terminal. And obviously, if you've got a contactless terminal, you need to know what it's doing. So there's a small screen as well. It's a really neat screen and contactless terminal. But at last, what it means is if you're a non-Tesla car, you do have the option of just pulling in, swiping your card, because it's one cable per charger, they know which charger you're using. It can take your payment. You can plug your car in wherever your charging port is, and you can get a charge. No membership, no apps, no nothing. You literally just drive in, plug in, swipe your contactless card, start charging. When it's finished, you end the session and you drive off. So these V4s were specifically designed to be used by non-Tesla drivers. Of course, we can still use them. We just ignore the screen and the contactless. And we just don't worry about the extra long cable because we don't need it. So that was the big change. But Tesla also wanted to attract customers to using their chargers. So the first thing is, if you just turn up with a contactless card, you will get a cheaper rate than you will at most other chargers, typically in the 60 pence range. Now, Tesla has an issue, a difference from others, in that it doesn't have a set price for every charging installation. Different charging locations will charge slightly different amounts. But typically across the Tesla range, if you turn up as a non-member, just plug in, use your contactless card, you're going to be paying 60 odd pence, which is really quite good in the scheme of things, because most of the charges are 70, 79p or even 85p. So that on its own is quite good. But of course, what Tesla wanted was more revenue, more people using it, and they did that, as many of the charging networks do, just by offering a membership. Membership you pay monthly, £10.99, and for that you then get So they offer a charging membership, and that is very simple. You pay a monthly sum. In Tesla's case, it was £10.99, and for that benefit of becoming a member, you get the same price that we Tesla drivers get automatically. So, and that was bringing it down. Now, if I give you some figures at a local charger, this is Manchester, Trafford Park, Trafford Shopping Centre, you will find that they have various time periods. These are peak, off-peak, super off-peak and others. And it means that the price not only will change between Manchester and, let's say, Carlisle or Birmingham, but it will change on the time of day. There are currently 4 peak timing periods at Manchester. There's the peak period where it's expensive for everyone, even us Tesla drivers. We will pay around about 50 or 60 pence ourselves in peak time. They have an off-peak, which will bring that down to about 40 pence for everyone, members and Tesla drivers. And then they have a super off-peak, 10 o'clock to midnight, for example, and that will be down around about 30 pence. And then they have a super off-peak, which is 24 pence. And this is anti-social hours, certainly midnight to 4 o'clock, when probably no one's using it, but you have the option of doing it. So you've got these different options. Now, if you were previously charging at an Instavolt or a GridServe or an Osprey or an Apple Green, one of these, you will be used to paying 79p, sometimes 77, sometimes 85, but round about 79p average. And you've now suddenly got the option of going to a Tesla supercharger and getting a price as little as 24 pence. 24 pence, for example, is half the price of the cost of running a petrol car, which does 50 miles to the gallon. It's a real saving. It also means that there's an awful lot of people who can't charge at home, and they will often spend hours throughout the week trying to find a fast charger nearby. These are the 7 kilowatt overnight ones. And they'll sometimes park in adjacent streets so they can get a rate which could be down in the 40 or 50 pence range overnight. Well, if you've got the option of going to a Tesla supercharger, you can charge, first of all, at an ultra rapid rate. Average car will probably take half an hour to 40 minutes at the most. And you can also have a price down to 24 pence. So why would anyone go searching every night looking for a fast charger to top up, when once a week you can just go to a Tesla supercharger? Anti-social hours certainly, but you can top up in half an hour or so at half price. So what's happened now is, throughout the whole of Europe, we're still part of Europe, we're not part of the European Union, but we are in Europe, they've just dropped prices. Tesla today has announced that the price for the membership throughout the whole of Europe has dropped from €12.99 down to £10.99. And in the UK, I've just been checking up on mine, and the membership in the UK has changed from £10.99 down to £8.99. So there's a £2 saving. And you can also now do an annual membership, which will give you additional savings. Pay once a year, and it's a lot less than the equivalent of £8.99 a month. So again, looking at the figures here, and I'll give you the actual figures today. £8.99 a month, and this is at Trafford Centre. And the rates at the moment are, if you are a non-member, just turn up, use your contactless, you'll pay 69p peak, 43p off-peak, 32p super off-peak. If you're a member, you'll get the 69 pence reduced to 51, the 43 reduced to 32, and the 32 reduced to 24. So I say once again, if you charge more than once a month and you use the same charger, these memberships are absolute no-brainers. I don't care what your thoughts are on membership. Oh, I don't want to be forced into a membership. Financially, this is an absolute no-brainer. You've got to do this. Because being able to charge your car between I think it's 7 and 11 in the morning, 32 pence. Whereas if you go to your GridServe or your Osprey, it's 79 pence. Go to your Instavolt, it's 85 pence. This means that it's approaching a third of the cost of an Instavolt. If you're not worried about saving money, don't do it. Not a problem. But this saving is there. So this again is all part of the price war that I've been telling people about, and which is simmering in the background. Hasn't yet hit the main headlines, but now Tesla are making it much more attractive to become a member and to get the really, really stupidly cheap prices that you can get. At the same time, some of the normal prices for us Tesla drivers have also dropped a few pence. So where you have a situation where, for example, on a particular location, you have a bank of GridServe chargers, a bank of Osprey chargers, and a bank of Tesla superchargers, it is now so much more beneficial to just go to the Tesla one, become a member, and you can get a price which is a fraction of what you would pay. In fact, I would say with certainty that you would pay no more at the Tesla supercharger buying your membership and then filling up than you would if you went to a GridServe or an Osprey and just filled up at the 79 pence. Haven't worked it out exactly. I'll do that as a future video. But I would suspect even on day one, you'll come out ahead. And of course, your next charge, you don't have to pay your membership for that month again, but you will now be paying 20 or 30 pence per kilowatt hour. Stupid prices. Once again, this is the start of a price war. You see, there are several sites around. We've got Exeter, for example, Rugby, we've got Frankly Services. And these are locations where you have a very, very large Tesla supercharger. Exeter is 32 V3 chargers, and Rugby is 28 V3 chargers. So you have these sites where they are running alongside in this case, GridServe. GridServe at Exeter has 24, GridServe at Rugby has 12. If you pull into Rugby and the Teslas are opened up to all, which they're not at the moment, they are exclusive Teslas, but if in the future they open them up to everyone, you're going to have a choice of 28 Tesla superchargers at 20 or 30 pence a kilowatt hour, or you can go to the GridServe and pay 79 pence a kilowatt hour. It's an absolute no-brainer. So there's a lot happening, and this is the start of the pricing war. Site by site, Tesla will be opening up these superchargers to all cars, and site by site, people are going to be arriving and suddenly realizing, hey, you know what? I'll pay the £8.99 a month, and I will then save 40 pence a month, 40 pence per kilowatt hour per month that I put into my car. And that's a huge saving. So this is the opening salvos in the price war that's actually ongoing at the moment. If you want to find out how to use a Tesla supercharger, there's a link down below, how to use a Tesla charger as a Tesla owner, and we're shortly going to be releasing an updated video, how to use a Tesla supercharger that is open to all in a non-Tesla car. So keep an eye out for that. If you want to be notified about that, please subscribe, click the notification bell. And if you do like this video, please click the like button. So thanks very much. I'm Dave.